SMEs are the backbone of the Philippine economy. Unionbank has laid down the groundwork for creating an ecosystem helping businesses through an integrated user experience connecting key stakeholders in the ecosystem. SMEs can now have immediate access to financial service providers, points of sale or POS, accounting, inventory, human resources, tax and payroll services, supply chain management, and providing business communities and engagement in B2B and B2C marketplaces. In building that ecosystem, Unionbank Globallinker was born. It's an online platform with social networking capabilities that help SMEs manage and grow their businesses. On their first year of launch, they already have 33,000 SMEs signed up in the platform. Their promise? To become a one-stop hub for business owners. 4 pillars. Network with potential partners and suppliers from a global network of SMEs. Engage with thought leaders and create your own topics for discussion. Avail exclusive deals and offers from business solutions that will help aid an SME's business. Create a DIY e-commerce shop, linker.store.
I think one major role that Globallinker plays is its ability to create a digital platform that for business growth. It's a huge help because it provides for an avenue where businesses can interact, learn, and at the same time expand their networks.
But as a social media platform, Globallinker helps build the community of SMEs and link them to the right markets, suppliers, financiers, and advisors.
I've actually established a contact in Philippines who is interested in my product, and we are working on ways how we can do that. So hopefully, it materializes.
The future of the SME sector in the Philippines is endless. With fintech, business growth can accelerate by breaking down barriers, setting up important connections, and moving daily activities. Success is definite. It's just waiting to happen. The growth of SME filters to all levels of the Philippine society. This sector employs more than 60% of Filipinos. So many lives will be transformed with the success of SMEs. Unionbank Globallinker will be there to make it happen.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to the 21st episode of Bounce Back 2021, Time to Shine, Practical Coaching Series. This episode or this series is made possible by Globallinker and Resellee. My name is Dianna Azores and I'll be your coach for tonight. Okay, my topic for tonight is that I'll be discussing to you the brand storytelling. Why is it important? My name is Dianna again. My brand stories. I'll teach you how to do or tailor fit your brand stories to your brand. Okay. The outline of this program or this series is the topics are what is a brand, what is brand story, and why brand storytelling is important, and how do you create brand stories and brand stories as marketing strategy. Okay, so what is a brand? So you see, there are a lot of brands coming up since the pandemic. So you yourself have built small businesses. You call business names and you register it to DDI and so on and so forth. But what is really a brand? So your brand is a story unfolding across all customer touch points. So meaning, your brand is like the reason why it exists. So whether it's for food, whether it's for like sports, whether it's for health and fitness, health and wellness, and so on. So you need to really understand the branding process. So what is brand? So according to the marketing expert, Philip Kotler, branding is the process of giving meaning to specific organization, a company, products, or services by creating or shaping brand in consumers' mind. Okay, so my business is Delicioso Homemade Ham. So my company started actually in 2013, but later on I just registered it in 2015. So you will ask me why Delicioso? Why the name of my company is Delicioso, or why is the brand name Delicioso? So there is a story behind it. So when you look at these logos, you will understand there are a lot of meaning to these logos. You see, let's take for example Palamanyanita. So this is a homemade palaman by Panini. This is just a this is one of the pandemic business um, that she made after she lost her job in corporate company. So she thought of selling palaman as a complement to what is the so palamanita. So I'm sorry. So she make palaman in lieu of the breads na available in the market. So let's also take for example Kimchi Baby. Kimchi Baby is a brand name. Uh, Basically, she's selling kimchi, as you know. But again, more on Korean yung ginagawa niya. How about Puto Monster? So you see the logo, may puto, and so on and so forth. So these are brand logos. How is it different to the brand story? So how is it different from the brand story? There are brand components in using in creating brands. It's identity name, its logo or symbol, the product, and the perception of the customer. So, what is your identity name? So, as a business owner, you have to identify it to yourself. What is your identity name? For example, my brand name is Dianna Azores. So, when you hear my name, um, you will know that my brand is Delicioso. So there are other things or other brand components that we need to discuss tonight. So now, identity name. So what are the needs for you to create the identity name of your product? So it has to be dynamic and engage to connect to your customers. So um, in my case, Delicioso. Ang kwento ng Delicioso is about a child, my kid, solo parent kasi ako. So when we were doing the ham, siya yung nagsabi ng Delicioso Mommy. So pinaktikin ko sa kanya yung luto ko. So sinabi niya yon na Delicioso Mommy. So it came to a point na parang, uy, what a brand recall. Merong brand recall dun sa sinabi ng anak ko. So, yun yung ginamit ko na parang story behind the logo. Okay? So, ngayon, aalamin mo as a business owner, is it relevant to your business? For example, if you're selling again, if you're selling a kimchi, you will definitely name it based or relevant or Korean products that you are selling, right? So how about Eco Store? For example, Eco Store is a, sustainable store that sells businesses that sells organic brands or organic products and supporting sustainability. So your brand identity name has to be relevant. It doesn't need to be like too technical. Paano ba yung too technical, Miss Diane? Too technical, for example, ang business mo ay you are creating gumagawa ka ng air conditioner or aircon, gumagawa ka. So ang identity name mo na ginawa mo for the aircon is Mang Jose Air Condition Repair and Technical Stuff. So, it's too long na parang mahaba and medyo technical na yung pagpapangalan mo dun sa business mo or dun sa brand mo. So, and the last step is you have to be forward enough to sustain extension to the portfolio if needed. So, this one. My brand is Delicioso. So, ang company ko is Delicioso Homemade Ham. But then again, I created this pandemic lang a ham desal, which is actually parang nasadya lang siya na nagawa because of the hype of ube cheese pandesal. So, I opted to make a ham and a cheese in pandesal. So, it is aligned pa rin dun sa negosyo na meron ako. So, again, kung meron kayong mga businesses, iisipin nyo kung gusto nyo siyang i-expand or gusto mo siyang palawakakin or gusto mo siyang i-boom, iisipin mo na yung brand identity name niya, it has to be aligned dun sa mga products or services na ibebenta mo. Okay? So again, what is the difference of brand identity name to logo or symbol? Logo or symbols do not represent brands directly. This is actually a misconception to many of us. Kasi pag sinabi mo, for example, na yung brand name of a most reliable rubber shoes in the world, what comes to your mind first? Some of you will say it's Nike. Some of you will say it's Adidas. Some of you will say it's ASICS. So there are a lot of brand or rubber shoes that is reliable in the market. Pero instead, these symbols differentiated themselves in the market. Can you guys follow me? So these symbols and logos used in association or perception in consumers' minds, which links to the brand. Okay, so when you create your brand logo, you have to make sure na meron siyang differentiation or there is also a meaning behind it, right? So let me take, for example, just this bottle of water. The brand logo is Summit. So can you see the summit and then there is a peak. So Summit water. So is there a relevance to this logo? So yung gumawa ng business na yan, inisip niya na yung gagawin niya has to be relevant dun sa product na binibenta niya. Okay? So next, your product. This is one of the most important things of your selling point, no? So this defines the company standard and commit. So for example, again, let's take for example the rubber shoes industry. So you're buying shoes, you're buying rubber shoes. So Nike has established its name for a very long time, diba? It has a brand image, meron na siyang brand image, meron na siyang influencers, and it is a big company already. But on the other hand, like me or you, like all of us who are starting from this pandemic, we are creating our products that will make or that will differentiate from the others. Kasi the competition nowadays is getting stiff, diba? So, maraming nagbebenta ng ube cheese lately. Last year, for example, nag-boom yon. Nag-boom yung ube cheese pandesal. So, what makes your product different from the others? So, iisipin mo yon in relation to your brand logo and to your brand identity. Okay, so for a product to be successful in the market, it should address consumers' needs. Okay, ano ba yung mga consumers' needs? So actually, ito talaga yung selling point why your business existed in the first place, right? So let's take for example, Resellee. Let's take for example Resellee. Resellee aims to help people in an app or in an app na parang sila yung tutulong sa iyo na maghanap ng mga resellers, or ikaw yung may product ka, and then they will ask someone na magma-match sa iyo para makapagbenta or something. So let's take for example Globallinker. Globallinker, kanina nung napanood natin yung video niya, it helps a lot of people connecting globally in terms of supply and demand, or their business and services. So it links people to other people. That's why yung pangalan niya is Globallinker. 'Di ba? So your product can be a regular thing, but it is important for you to understand what makes it different, what makes it different from other products out in the market. So very important to have that there is a unique selling proposition in your product. What makes your product unique? Okay, so there are a lot of kimchi out there. There are a lot of ice cream out there. There are a lot of palamans out there. There are a lot of puto out there. But what makes your product different from this product in the market? I myself, for example, let's take the Delicioso homemade ham. My ham is different from the hams in the market because my ham is homemade. Okay. And due to the pandemic, there are a lot of people who already make homemade hams in their kitchen. So my unique selling proposition is that there is a story behind that Delicioso that my customers or clients keep on buying. It doesn't mean na masarap. I mean, masarap is underrated. Masarap na yung product. Tapos may kwento pa siya. What more can you do, 'di ba? Kapag pinag-combine mo yung dalawa. So, okay. Another thing, the last component of a brand is perception. Is the reason of consumers to choose your brand or competition. So, meron kang competition in the market, 'di ba? So, marami nga kayo na marami kayo sa market. So, what makes you different from them? For example, this Tia Deli. This Tia Deli is one of my businesses also under the Delicioso umbrella. So let's say this Tia Deli sells kakanin or merienda. So hashtag Pinoy Merienda. So the way I market my Tia Deli is by means of putting the kakanin in a tub. Kasi compare sa other market na nakabalot sila ng what do you call that, banana leaves. So in this case, iniba ko siya. Nilagay ko siya sa tub, binundle up ko siya, and I'm selling this one for 120 pesos. So again, it's your creative strategy on how you will make your product different from your competition. Okay, so can you follow? For questions, you may comment your questions, and then later on we will answer it. Okay, so this slide, top brands in the Philippines. So when you see Starbucks, you see Nescafe, you see Jollibee, you see Globe, you as a customer have already perception behind these logos. Meaning, when you see McDonald's, what is the first thing that comes into your mind? Their hashtag, other tagline, love ko to. Diba? So when you see Jollibee logo, what comes first into your mind? It's their hamburger or it's their chicken joy. So as a customer, you have already associated your perception as a customer to these brand logos. Can you guys follow me? So now, moving forward, what is brand story? Brand story is very important or very vital in creating your brand strategy, okay? Because you have to identify the brand promise, the brand biography, reason why, characters, and customer experience. Okay, so let's take for example, my story, Delicioso Homemade Ham. My story is that I am a solo parent to a boy. He's now 8 years old. And the reason why I built the business is because during the time nawalan ako ng trabaho. So parang ang means ko lang to talaga is to make or study sausage making and food processing. Sa lahat ng mga inaral ko, na mga sausages and food processing, ang nagustuhan talaga ng anak ko is the ham. So kaya niya to sinabi na delicioso mommy. So ang kwento, ganon. I am a solo parent who keeps on raising money or building business so that I can support my 8-year-old son. 'Di ba? So merong story behind it. There is a reason why my brand exists. My brand can exist without my son, parang ganon. So, you as a business owner, you have to learn these factors or these guidelines in order for you to create your own brand story. Okay, what is brand promise? Brand promise is that it asks the question what the brand stands for. What is the purpose of your business? So let's take for example Kimchi Baby. Kimchi Baby was built or was conceived because nawalan ng trabaho yung may-ari. So nawalan siya ng trabaho and niya gumagawa ng kimchi. And the name of her tita name is Baby. So combination of kimchi and the one who makes the kimchi, Baby. So she combines it and then Kimchi Baby was born, right? So ang brand promise niya is to create kimchi, authentic kimchi because they're preparing kimchi since 1995 pa. Diba? So, ganun. Meron siyang brand promise. Ano yung talagang reason behind your business or your brand? So next, brand biography. What is your brand identity? We already discussed this one. Your reason why you have to know the reason behind your business. The reason why in the first place you put up the business. So for example, marunong akong mag-bake. But that doesn't mean na marami na akong competition, di ba? Again, babalikan natin the differentiation or the unique selling proposition of your product. So for example, I'm a baker and I want to lose weight. So I'll be baking keto products na ibebenta ko doon sa mga tao na gustong mag-lose ng weight. So therefore, I have my story why my business will flourish, 'di ba? So kasi meron akong specific niche market na bebentahan, yung mga gustong mag-lose ng weight or keto diet. So ganun siya. So next, you have to know the characters. What brand represents. So ano yung bine-representa ng brand mo? Ano yung nire-represent niya as a human? Kung gagawin mo siyang tao or i-humanize mo yung brand mo, who is that person? 'Di ba? In that way kasi, again, malalaman mo agad kung sino yung target market mo. Okay. And lastly, very important is customer experience. Customer experience is how do you want your consumers perceive your brand? So meaning, for example, ako, my customer experience actually is that gusto ko lang talaga na makita yung mga tao na bumibili ng ham ko na masaya because they enjoyed my cooking. So that's it. Yun na talaga yung brand customer experience ko. Yun ang top of mind ko. Yun ang goal ko. At the end of the day, I got 5 stars for the ratings on Facebook because na-achieve ko yung goal ko to satisfy the needs and the wants of my customers. So you, as business owners, you have to identify what makes your customer satisfied. So is it gusto ba nila ng maalat na chicken? Gusto ba nila ng matamis na chicken? Gusto ba nila ng medyo crunchy na chicken? So it's up to you to identify what is the best experience for your customers. Okay. So this one is an example of a brand perception. For example, Kobe. Um, you know, Kobe, pagka nakita mo siya, you already associate it with Nike. 'Di ba? So, sometimes, hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na pag nakita mo si Kobe, i-associate mo siya sa swimming. Pwede ba yon? Hindi, 'di ba? Pwede, but hindi siya ganon ka-familiar. Okay? So, next, this one. Valentine's Day Special, Kwentong Jollibee. 'Di ba? So, when you see these logos, there is a story behind it. That's why kaya nga siya nagte-trending kasi there is a story behind the logo and the story behind the business and the product. Okay? And this one, from McDonald's commercial, I think this commercial was actually won an award international. So, it's about a solo parent na nagbibigay ng bonding time with her kid. So, kumain sila ng french fries. So, these examples can be seen sa YouTube. You can guys just search for it. Okay. So, do you understand now how to make a brand story? So, now, the third part is you know already the brand name, the brand identity. You already know the brand logo, and you already know the brand story, the components of the brand story. Now, we have to understand why brand storytelling is important. Actually, a brand story is a good story, is creative and authentic. It makes an emotional and personal connection, inspires action, takes an audience on a journey with the brand. So, again, alamin mo, di ba, you have already identified the purpose of your business. You have already identified the look of your logo. You have identified the brand story behind your business. So now you have to craft it based on the personal connection. So i-connect mo ngayon yung sarili mong experience to your customers so that you are aligned with your objectives, with your business objective, and at the same time, what is your goal to your customer? So, importance of brand storytelling. This one builds strong brand identity. No matter what happens, a great brand story tells everything, diba? So let's take for example natin si RC Cola. That one is very that one is very controversial. But then the purpose of there is a purpose behind that advertisement, diba? So the purpose is out of the box thinking. Pero that ad na ginawa nila, that makes their brand strong enough. Diba? Kasi pag naisip mo siya, yun naman talaga ang gusto nilang ma-gain, ma-achieve, is for them to have a brand identity. So nakuha nila yung goal na yun. Meron na silang brand identity, Ars Cola. Malakas to, di ba? So yun. Your brand has to have, it can be easily recalled without much effort. So kayo, meron kayong mga preferences na brands, right? Meron kayong preferences na gustong bilihin. For example, meron kayong preferences na mga restaurants. So, the brand storytelling is really important because it backs up your existence in the market. Let's take, for example, Mary Grace. Si Mary Grace before, di ba, nagbe-bake lang siya ng mga pastry, na mga empanada rolls and ensaymada and whatnot. Nagbe-bake lang siya ng cake. Tapos lumago yung kanyang negosyo. Meron na siyang pasta, meron na siyang cakes, meron siyang mga main courses, and meron na siyang drinks and coffee and everything. But she makes it a point to make that Mary Grace very homey. 'Di ba? Kasi yun yung gusto niyang brand identity eh. Gusto ko pag pupunta kayo ng Mary Grace Cafe or Mary Grace na restaurant, ma-feel ninyo very much welcome at home. Kaya again, pati ang ayos ng kanyang restaurant is very homey. You can relate to it, 'di ba? There is a story behind it. Okay? That is why storytelling is really important. So, next is it builds strong following. As the story adds any value, it instantly aids in turning person into a follower. So, now, you have created a strong brand. Nike has a strong brand. Meron na nga siyang Nike Plus. Meron na siyang Nike Community. Because these are the followers of Nike. These are sports enthusiasts. These are sports fitness guru. They are fitness health freak. So, sila yon. Pina-follow nila si Nike because naniniwala sila dun sa story ni Nike. Na parang pag gunamit nila si Nike, feeling nila the best runner na sila in the world, di ba? Pag ginamit nila yung sapatos na yan, feeling nila sila na yung best basketball player in the world. So, it's about the perception of the user. Babalik lang again yan because of the customer experience. Customer user experience. Because of this brand na natuwa akong gamitin, I keep coming back to it. Diba? Bumabalik at bumabalik ka lang doon kung saan sa nakasanayan mo na. Yun. So, because of that thing, you are creating a community out of your brand. So, si Delicioso, for example, bloom na ako kasi meron na akong following ng mga solo parents because I myself is a solo parent. So, tinutulungan ko na ngayon sila on how to think of business, on how to sell ham na hindi naman ako lugi din, hindi din sila lugi. So, again, tulungan lang siya. Okay, next, strong connection with followers. So, meron ka ng followers, right? You already have followers in the market. So now you need to build strong connection with them. Meaning you have to create connection. There is a story. Meron kayong pinaniniwalaan together. Okay, and lastly, there is an unforgettable experience. A brand with a good story does enable the customer to trust in the content as well as the brand, thereby leading to an unforgettable experience. So, si Delicioso, let's say for example, let me share to you, there is an anecdote in the business. So, when I was making ham desal last year, my story was featured on Tapuso Mo Jessica Soho. So, it builds a business dun sa ham desal. So, maraming bumili ng ham desal. And unfortunately, there is this one customer na sobrang kulit. Like, ako personally na parang, oh my God, I'm really sorry. Like, I need to schedule you talaga. Para matagal pa yung schedule niya for the delivery because talagang dinagsa talaga ako ng mga customers. So now, sinabi ko sa kanya na, sige, no, don't worry, don't worry, nakalista naman, I'll be sending you the homemade hams or your orders. So, ang question ko is, paano natin siya mapapadala sa'yo, yoon? Tapos, in-explain niya sa akin na the customer explained to me na the reason why I'm buying to you, Miss Diane, is because my lola was sick. Yung lola niya kasi parang bedridden na, may sakit, and wants to taste ham before Christmas. So yung story ko was aired last July. and the customer actually was asking for the parang bibili siya July din. Pero ang huling-hiling ng kanyang lola is makatikim siya ng ham bago magpasko. So parang ako, ano ako doon, parang pag may nangyaring masama doon sa lola niya, kasalanan ko. Parang huling-hiling, ganon. So, hindi ko sinabi sa kanya na magpapadala ako ng product sa kanya. Hindi ko yun sinabi. Sinabi ko lang na iwan mo sa akin yung mga contact details mo and address, and maybe, mapadeliver ko sa'yo yung product anytime this week or anytime like next week. So, parang gano'n lang. But on that same day, because of the reason why because of her reason, bakit siya bumibili sa akin, was really touched my heart. It is her lola, and it's very important to me as a family. Pinadalan ko siya ng product. And that's it. Without any questions, hindi ko siya siningil or whatever, pinadalan ko lang siya ng product. And sadly, yun na pala yung huling-hiling ni Lola. So again, that customer made a very unforgettable experience, not just only for me as business owner, but for that customer. Kasi we build connections, really. There is a story why people buy your product. Okay, so moving on. Storytelling can really increase revenue. Do you believe this, guys? This is really true. Because in my case, when my Delicioso ham was featured on TV, my sales increased triple, not just triple. It exceeded my target, really. So last July, thanks to Bounce Back also, because yung product na Hamdesal was published dun sa Bounce Back Facebook natin, and I'm not sure, maybe one or two members of it are producers from the TV program. So feature nila ako sa TV. So yon, my business increased revenue. So talagang dumami yung mga orders ko, dumami yung mga customers ko, because there is a story behind that product. Okay, and lastly, how do you create brand stories? Paano nga ba, Miss Diane, paano ba ginagawa yung brand story? Kasi meron talaga siyang cycle. Ayan. It's just that there's a cycle of it. There, you need to have a backstory. Backstory for your business. I mean, for your story. Sino ba yon? Ano ba yung nangyari? Bakit mo ba siya ginawa? Why is it important? Why is it, will this business make a difference to the in the market? So yon, there is a story behind it. And now, you identify the hero. So, are you a hero or are you the villain? Diba? So, in creating your brand story, make sure that your business is actually solving a problem to the community. Diba? In my case, the purpose of it is that I just needed a business to raise my son. My business is to really make sure that my kid is meron siyang future ahead, kasi wala kaming choice kasi solo parent na ako So ang nagiging hero for that is yung brand ko, yung Delicioso, 'di ba? Because of the Delicioso, nagkakaroon ako ng business, nagkakaroon ako ng income para mabuhay ko yung anak ko. So ikaw as business owner, who is your hero? Make sure that your brand or your product or your business is a hero to the community. So tulungan mo yung kung ano yung nawawala within the community. Find the missing or find the problem and then solve the problem. Okay? So, stakes. What are at stakes when you make when you are making your business? Isipin mo yon lahat. So, is there a disruption? Is there a disruption in your business? Meron ka bang kalaban? Meron ka bang ano ba yung pangit dito sa business ko or something? Isipin mo yun in crafting the story of your product. Then also, learn who are your mentors. Sino ang mga nag-i-influence sa buhay mo? Sino ang nag-influence dun sa business para i-create mo siya? In the case of Kimchi Baby, the mentor of Kimchi Baby is actually Tita Baby, the one who makes the kimchi. Okay, it's not the business owner, because the business owner doesn't know how to make kimchi, but she knows how to cook Korean food. But the hero or the mentor of Kimchi Baby is actually the tita, the one who makes the kimchi. Okay, in my case, my mentor is the one who actually taught me how to make um the hams, how to make the what they call these sausages. So she is my mentor. Okay? So iisipin mo 'yon kasi ika-craft mo yung story mo eh. So iisipin mo 'yon. Sino ba ang naging influential sa buhay ko? Who is my mentor? Is it my mom? Is it my dad? Is it my friends? What motivates me to build this business? Again, next is the journey. So your journey, yung pinagdaanan mo siya, gaano kahirap mo sinisimulan yung negosyo mo? Yung question lang na yun, maiiyak ka na eh, di ba? So ako parang, during the time when I was making my ham, the hardest part is actually taking the first step. Because during the time, syempre, nawalan nga ako ng trabaho. I only have few bills in my pocket. So I need to invest on the learning, on how to study yung craft. So nag-invest ako, nagbayad ako doon. Kahit napikit mata, wala akong pambayad ng kuryente. Alam niyo yun? So iisipin mo yung journey. Ano yung pinagdaanan mo na matindi, na you really made it far. Di ba? Parang ganon. Ano yung pinagdaanan mo na matindi, na na-accomplish mo siya. Next, the victory. Nagkaroon ka na ng victory. And at the end of the day, meron kang moral lesson. Meron kang moral lesson doon sa pinagdaanan mo in making your business. Diba? Ayan yung mga tipong mga kwento na, yung nagpapakulo nga ako ng liyempo ko, tapos bigla ko nawala ng gas. Yung mga tipong gano'n na mga story na medyo petty, pero talaga pag pinagsama-sama mo sila, it makes your story more interesting. So lastly is the ritual. Ano yung ritual mo talaga pag ginagawa mo yung business mo, 'di ba? So lastly, this is the last part, brand stories as marketing strategy. So again, you already know what is brand identity name, you already know the brand logo, you already know the brand perception, you already know why is it important for the brand story, to have a brand story. Now, you put it all together and you make your marketing strategy. So now, this is the backbone of your business. How do you make your marketing strategy in order for your business to fly? Okay? So, there are 3 reasons why brand storytelling is the future of marketing according to Forbes online. Be unforgettable. Okay. So, let's say, this topic parang ito yung first kiss mo na hindi mo talaga makakalimutan, di ba? So, yung reason of the brand story is that make your business unforgettable. Unang kagat pa lang ng sandwich na ginawa mo, hindi ka na makakalimutan ng customer na bumili sa'yo kasi naalala niya yung childhood niya sa ginawa mong sandwich. In my case, meron akong ganong story. May bumibili sa akin international, galing Singapore, Dubai, Canada, all parts of the world. Because ang reason niya, Miss Diane, you know what? Every time natitikim ako ng delicioso homemade ham mo, I feel that it's my nanay who cooked this for me. And unfortunately, yung nanay niya is already gone. I mean, she's already an angel. Wala na. Patay na. So every time na bibili siya sa akin, babalik siya ng Pilipinas o papadala ko, isi-ship namin yung ham ko, talagang binabalikan niya ako kasi naaalala niya yung nanay niya sa akin. So that's make it unforgettable. Ngayon, your business, if you're, if you're baking baking pandesal or making cinnamon bread or making whatever, ano yung magiging importante para para alam mo yun, makakalimutan ka talaga, hindi nila makakalimutan yung product mo. What is that? You have to find that reason. Okay, you build the tribe. Next, use your story to create a deep emotional connection. Start by listening. Start listening to your customers. You engage them. No strings attached involved. Your audience is that what you do as business. Turn your brand into an experience they can consume. So in that case, you build a tribe within your business because you are the expert. Diba? Ikaw yung gumawa nun eh. That's your pride and joy na naka-create ako. For example, the kimchi or the palamanita or the puto monster. Yon, puto monster, let's say. Yung following mo ng mga puto monster, sila yung mga taong gustong kumain lang puto araw-araw. So, you create that tribe to them. You engage them. You connect with them emotionally. Diba? Find that reason. Next, profitable and human. Yun ang isa mga sa last 3 reasons based sa Forbes. Storytelling, the most ancient and powerful tool for effective education. We are genetically wired to love and respond to stories, and memorable brand story is exactly what people need to feel connected to your business. It has a lasting positive impression and who you are and what you stand for and become loyal clients. So for example, ni-humanize mo na yung brand mo. Meaning, you have already identified kung ano talaga ang purpose or goal ng brand mo and your brand story, your brand logo. Diba? You connect to them. People will always say or review your product based sa experience nila sa'yo. And I'm telling you, ang mga Pinoy talaga ay likas na mga chismoso at chismosa. And in that sense, word of mouth talaga ang mangyayari. If your brand is good, your product is good, your customer service is good, you will fly your business. Okay? So now, last, if your brand story is compelling enough, it can be used to your advantage as owner. Okay, in my case, my brand visibility. I was featured in Unang Hirit in 2016 because of my story. Diba? Mind you, paano kung halimbawa ikaw, you're a business owner, gumagawa ka or naggaganchilyo ka ng mga stuff or ng parang stuffed toy, tapos ginaganchilyo mo lang siya. There is a story behind your business. Malay mo, maging guest ka din nila one day, di ba? Brand visibility. Again, I was featured in Unang Hirit, Kabuhayang Swak na Swak. These people, they contacted me organically. I don't know them. Diba? Organically. Kinontak lang nila ako sa page. Tinanong ako, Miss, pwede ka ba naming i-feature your story, blah, blah, because we are touched by your story. So, ayan, no, I was featured on TV. I was carrying my son. So, yun. Not only for TV, radio too. So, it's very mahirap na magbenta ng ham or ng product using a radio station, di ba? Pero in my case, could you imagine na I was able to sell my hams using these 2 radio stations. They contacted me and asked me, Diane, can we guest you on radio show, radio program? Just let us know kung ano yung kailangan mo. And yeah, I was there because that story of my business is very unforgettable. Yeah. Not only that, I did already also wanted sa radyo. I help people during this time. Nagpartner tayo sa kanila kasi this is Christmas, namigay tayo ng ham para sa mga taxi drivers si Sir Rafi. And my story was already also featured in Chinkitan and Morning Calls. So that's it. And lastly, the one that I mentioned to you, the Hamdesal, was featured in Kapuso Mo, Jessica Soho last year. So also thank you to Bounce Back because of that opportunity. building business and making people, helping people, building community, building entrepreneurs talaga. Thank you so much. Kasi without that platform, maybe on some other way, hindi ako mapipick up ng TV station or TV program na yan. So, how are your brand storytelling efforts coming along, and what are your biggest challenges? So ito yung question ko ngayon sa inyo. How are your brand storytelling efforts coming along, and what are your biggest challenges right now? So again, thank you so much for listening to me, or for listening to me. This has been Dianna Azores, MMC, and my topic is about brand storytelling. And thank you to Unionbank Globallinker and Resellee for making this series possible. Thank you.
SMEs are the backbone of the Philippine economy. Unionbank has laid down the groundwork for creating an ecosystem helping businesses through an integrated user experience connecting key stakeholders in the ecosystem. SMEs can now have immediate access to financial service providers, points of sale or POS, accounting, inventory, human resources, tax and payroll services, supply chain management, and providing business communities and engagement in B2B and B2C marketplaces. In building that ecosystem, Unionbank Globallinker was born. It's an online platform with social networking capabilities that help SMEs manage and grow their businesses. On their first year of launch, they already have 33,000 SMEs signed up in the platform. Their promise: to become a one-stop hub for business owners. 4 pillars. Network with potential partners and suppliers from a global network of SMEs. Engage with thought leaders and create your own topics for discussion. Avail exclusive deals and offers from business solutions that will help aid an SME's business. Create a DIY e-commerce shop. Linker.store.
I think one major role that Globallinker plays is its ability to create a digital platform that, for business growth, is a huge help because it provides for an avenue where businesses can interact, learn, and at the same time expand their networks.
Well, as a social media platform, Globallinker helps build the community of SMEs and link them to the right markets, suppliers, financiers, and advisors.
I've actually established a contact in Philippines who is interested in my product, and we are working on ways how we can do that. So hopefully, it materializes.
The future of the SME sector in the Philippines is endless. With fintech, business growth can accelerate by breaking down barriers, setting up important connections, and moving daily activities. Success is definite. It's just waiting to happen. The growth of SME filters to all levels of the Philippine society. This sector employs more than 60% of Filipinos. So many lives will be transformed with the success of SMEs. Unionbank Globallinker will be there to make it happen.